I will be voice acting this most of the game, but it's early and I don't want to wake up the family, so, well, maybe I'll do a little bit of it. We'll probably edit some of this in post, try to make it sound a little bit better. It's me, Zidane. Hey, Zidane, you sure are late. Sorry. So, where's the boss? Ain't here yet. Oh, that looks so good. So smooth. That didn't go right. All right, let's try that again. Okay. Normal. There we go. Okay. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, that's weird. Whoa. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, we're gonna have to end it again. Hang on. We'll get there eventually. All right. Ready? Go. Oh my god. Oh, this damn thing. I see. It's on the other monitor. I have a third monitor that's like really far out. Okay, so let's do this again and change it to uh that's not it, but let's see if that puts it on this one. Yep. Wow. It's reading the wrong one, but that's okay. Look, Gary Mod's not perfect. Imagine that. Yeah, okay. There we go. That's what I want. It's me, Zidane. Hey, Zidane, you sure are late. Sorry. So where's the boss? Ain't here yet. Oh no. something I have on is not quite what I want. So we're just going to have to keep modifying until it finally does what I want it to do. Normal. Yes. Okay. Let's go with 30. And sure. Yes. Yes. Um, permanent trance. Holy crap. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. All right. One last time. Let's give it a go. We are, of course, doing testing today, it seems like. It would appear that that is the case. Let's try new game from the top. Sure is dark. Guess nobody's here yet. You know what? We're just not going to mess with anything. Not going to touch anything. Just going to keep on going. Who's there? It's me, Zidane. Hey, Zidane. You sure are late. Sorry. So where's the boss? Ain't here yet. From the top, people. Yes. I like what I'm seeing. interesting. Okay. This is not not sure what's up here, guys. Well, you've seen what we did with this. Oh, let's work on the mod later. How's that? Does that sound good to you guys? This is test stream 150 mods. If you're listening, guys. 150. It's the test stream for the mod stuff. To see if it was up and running. I even went ahead and I'll probably delete all this, but I even went on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube. Yep. Oh, you're in the Discord. Okay. I know, it's 4:30 a.m. But we gotta get this right for later today. Are you back in there? Okay. I got you. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. We're just gonna have to, we might even need to do a fresh reinstall, all that jazz, you know? Which is like not the worst thing. Let's see. Let's put on some music. We're in the money. All right. There we go. There we go. Oh, you know what? We should do. What is it? Is this alphabetical order? I wonder if it's alphabetical. There we go. Yeah, that's OST. I don't want to play OST right now. Oh, yeah, this for sure. Oh, yeah, dude. This guy, this guy is rocking, dude. He's amazing. And we could change it to learn command. Bro, he's so good. Yeah. I want to do a couple of different things. A lore guide would be good. Yeah, Final Fantasy 9, I feel like. Yeah. Love it.
Person that I am today. That may sound cliche, but it's true. It was Final Fantasy IX and the constant reading of text that got me to pick up books and read. It is one of the many reasons I enjoy diving into the deep philosophical statements our media says about us, and most importantly, it was my gateway to the Japanese RPG genre. I sat on the intro to this video for a long time, asking myself, what makes this game so special? Is it the exploration of the vicious cycles of life and death present throughout its narrative? Or is it the exploration of friendship and love essential to overcoming fear, grief, and despair? Perhaps I should talk about how much the game means to me, talk in depth about how much this title meant to the creator of Final Fantasy and why it's his favorite. How it is a giant love letter to the entire series. Is it how the player learns abilities and the control it gives the player over their own pace and playstyle? or explore the deep themes of existentialism woven into the roots of its narrative. The truth is, all of these reasons are what make Final Fantasy IX so special, not just for me, but for many fans of the series. While on the surface its narrative might not be as deeply loved as Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy X, but rooted deep within Final Fantasy IX's story is a complex, thought-provoking narrative about human existence and the travesties of war. So join me, and consider subscribing and giving the video a like, and let's saddle up our chocobos and go on a journey together as we look at one of Final Fantasy series' most treasured entries in our Final Fantasy IX retrospective. Looking back, Final Fantasy IX's development is bittersweet, mainly because this would be the last entry series creator Hironobu Sakaguchi would ever get a chance to work on in the series he created. Final Fantasy VII had taken the Final Fantasy series from a well-established RPG to an industry-defining icon overnight, and with that kind of success, many eyes now eagerly awaited to see what Square Enix's next game had in store for the series. Squaresoft was no longer just competing with Japanese companies, they were competing on a global scale. It was thanks to the success of Final Fantasy VII, Square had a golden age of releases during the PlayStation era. Final Fantasy IX and Final Fantasy X is where Final Fantasy's golden age peaked. After the development of Final Fantasy VII, the team split into two, and for the first time in series history, Sakaguchi let Kitase and his team go entirely at it on their own, with no direct input from him other than suggestions. This project, of course, became Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII would go on to sell extremely well and rank among one of the best-selling games on the PlayStation. Kitase and his team felt Final Fantasy should have a more realistic feel to it, a fantasy based in reality, if you will. However, Sakaguchi wasn't impressed, adding, "Might you consider making the characters look more chibi," as he felt the series should stick to the more anime style the series had adopted thus far. Kitase politely declined. It was for this reason Sakaguchi, as he put it, pulled the rudder back hard the other way with Final Fantasy IX. After two entries of a high-tech setting, sci-fi modern world, he felt it was due time the series returned to its high fantasy roots, a goal he sought out to do with Final Fantasy IX. While Final Fantasy IX went on to be received well and amass a following of dedicated fans who consider the game to be one of their favorites, myself included, it sold less copies than 7 and 8. Final Fantasy VIII likely sold better because it was riding on the hype train of Final Fantasy VII. It didn't matter in Squaresoft's eyes though. I'd be willing to bet if Final Fantasy IX had been titled Final Fantasy VIII and been the first of the two games to be released, sales would have been much stronger for.
Yeah, I believe that is accurate. But that's just me. Final Fantasy IX, in my opinion, it is Sakaguchi's culmination. Here's the thing, with the chibi character thing, it's like, for me, I do think it would have been better had they got, I do appreciate, it's my favorite game of all time. That's not going to change. That is never going to change. And it's my favorite Final Fantasy, and I think it's better than every other Final Fantasy. However, it would have, I think, done better and appealed to more. I don't care what art style, right? I like the charm of Sakaguchi's choice in style for Final Fantasy IX, but I also would have loved the more realistically proportioned humanoid models. Totally, just fine. Like, it bears no weight to me. I like both, and that's a fact for me. Like, that's just true. I could not care less. people are like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do Final Fantasy IX with realistic graphics, with realistic character models. It would look dumb next to this hippo dude or whatever. I'm like, bro, play Final Fantasy 12, okay? Come back to me tomorrow. Because that's bullshit. And like, they could still make it look, like you're not all you have to do is make a essentially the same scale, like whatever scale you choose to apply to the chibi models of 9 into a realistic version of those models, you do the same with every other model. And so instead of the cartoony, short, stocky, fat, chunky look for hippo people, wolf people, and like the Q, for example, the Q tribe, you know, they're changed to fit in better with not change. I mean, everybody's like, no, you can't change it. It would still look the same. You would still know exactly what it was. For God's sakes. Well, I like the chibi. Well, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I would like both, and I'm saying I would love to see it in that style too, right? Like if you love Final Fantasy IX, truly, for what it is, and by the way, it's a game with a story, with mechanics, with side quests, with all these things to do. There's the aesthetic of it, to me, the appeal comes from the medieval setting, right? Late medieval to almost steampunk, but still keeping in, somehow managing to keep its steampunk, or I'm sorry, medieval look, despite having what you would say is steampunk technology in it. But for me, it's castles, knights, right? Beatrix, Steiner, magic, right? No tech. I mean, there really is no tech in this game. All there is airships, and that's pretty much it. You could argue Terra has like cloning technology or something ridiculous like that. Or yeah. It's basically just magic clones. Like it's all just magic. There's nothing even comparable when you talk about like Magitech, right? It doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal opinion. Again, boys, we're just writing down notes, kind of speaking our thoughts. So feel free to add into the convo. Gaming title. Final Fantasy 9. There it is. There, I had to update the YouTube side. Yeah, one thing that's really funny, guys, is so I played Final Fantasy 14 for quite a while, long while. Was a Savage Raider and all that at Endgame, both in Shadowbringers and in Walker, and a Realm Reborn. I was not active and kind of just glazed over the Stormblood and Heaven's Word expansions. But anyway, I digress. I had a discussion with a guy that was clearly, very, very clearly, he pretended to be a Final Fantasy OG, right? Oh, he's an OG Final Fantasy fan. And I was modifying my character's glam appearance to look like a traditional old school black mage, because I was a black mage. And so I wanted him to look like, really truly like a black mage with the yellow eyes and everything, the sort of dark ethereal void of a head and face, and just a cool black mage outfit. Like Vivi, right? But also like the art designs from Final Fantasy Tactics, from the original Final Fantasy, and on and on and on, right? And this guy got into an argument, hardcore. That's not, and I would post the picture of what I was talking about, and he's like, that's not OG or original traditional black mage look. That is not the black mage look, right? Like as if Vivi was not, and that Final Fantasy Tactics and that Final Fantasy IV in the Magic Village, whatever you go, the raid or whatever, and there's like white mages and black mages everywhere, and they all look exactly like they're modeled directly after the original Final Fantasy white mage and black mage models, right? The little sprites. And I could not believe this guy, right? It's like people out there really, really, really like to pretend. They really like to think that they grew up with Final Fantasy or they know about Final Fantasy when really they played 7. Okay? And I'm sorry, but like I wouldn't even consider myself a super OG Final Fantasy. I've beaten all of them, but my first Final Fantasy, I was 10 years old, right? Okay? I was Final Fantasy X. Now, I played it, loved it, beat it, and then immediately I realized PlayStation 2 had backwards compatibility. I never had a PS1. So, I got to retroactively go back and play the OG Golden Age Final Fantasies. And the first one I did, Final Fantasy 9. I could, basically, because I figured, well, the one that was most recent up to 9, or up to 10, would be somehow as good or similar or whatever. And not similar at all, but I absolutely loved it. And Clair Obscur and all that stuff, it's like, whatever happened to those overworld designs? For real, dude. Like, why did they get rid of that? Oh, well, other games have it. It's just not called Final Fantasy. Well, I want all hands on deck. Excuse me. Katase, Sakaguchi, whatever, whoever. Like, their proteges and all them. Like, I want mainline. All hands on deck. No effort spared. Right? For a bomb Golden Age Super Final Fantasy to really bring back the series. I mean, because I think it would work. Number one. Everybody loved Clair Obscur. It got Game of the Year. It swept every single award. And basically, Clair Obscur is Final Fantasy IX, dude. It's nothing like 7 when it comes to mechanics. You learn abilities by battling, and you get ability points. I mean, that's 9. And you get, and you, like, you have to equip different things. It's not you don't, those abilities don't come from gear. It comes from pictos or whatever. But you equip those pictos, you get ability points, you'll level up that pictos until you learn it. And then you have it forever. Well, that's exactly like the abilities in 9. Exactly, to a T. The overworld design, way closer to 9. Think of the scale, right? The Clair Obscur overworld map scale, right? When it comes to them walking next to trees and all this stuff, like, there's like this dense forest or whatever nearby, and it's like, it's literally one-to-one, just better graphics. Like, it's individual trees with like actual pine needles that you can almost see, right? Because it's just hyper realistic in that way. I mean, think of the way Final Fantasy or Clair Obscur looks, feels, and plays, and it's like, it's literally just 9 reskinned and told with a different story. The gameplay loop, the side questing, the super bosses, the treasure that you can find out there, the extra stuff you can unlock and do with your mount, which is Eske, which in 9 it's the Chocobo, like all the same framework of systems. I mean, this was massively something that was 9 inspired. Now 7, yes, it has all these things, but 9 was clearly the winner in terms of how close it is to Clair Obscur. And I'll tell you why. Because when they won the Game Awards, the game director for the development team for Clair Obscur at Sandfall Interactive, personally, when they won Game of the Year award, thanked his inspiration, Sakaguchi, not Kitase. There you go. That's all you need to know, brother. That's all you need to know. It's pretty simple. Yeah. Yeah, kinetics. I think so. I think you're right. How we doing, guys? Are we digging into the diagnostics? Do I need to do it? I say at this point we delete everything. Oh, you know what? We can't. Yeah. Oguri mod. That's the kicker. Oof. You know, it really sucks because I think the newest and latest versions of it aren't going to work on my computer for some reason. And you know, the thing about it is Kitase, he did what he did with 7 and 8 because that was what they had to work with, right? Obviously, he went on to do things in a radically different way later on. You know, when he kind of took over the reins of mainline game development. But he sacrificed so many of those golden age features. And while the game 10 was still good, you know, but I think 10 was good enough and close enough to the battle system and stuff that it was still like, okay, it's still Final Fantasy, right? And you did have an airship, but it's just a menu. It's not an interactive airship. There's no, like, the world exploration. It's too linear. I didn't mind it because I love the story of 10, and that was the director's intent. Like, you have to experience the story through that lens. And I like the camera motions. The fixed camera, it was still a fixed camera, you know? And you know, a lot of people don't realize this, but the airship, 90% of the airship is 2D backgrounds with a 3D model running over the top of it, just like they did back in the day with 7, 8, 9. You know, only the bridge is 3D. Well, okay, the bridge, and I think the where you go to battle on the deck, right? Just below that, just before the deck, and then of course the deck itself. But every single other room, zone, hallway in the airship is a 2D background. Yeah, a lot of the shops are too, yeah. All the shops are actually, except for the one in the Calmlands and ones where it's like it's still a 3D environment, right? But ones that one like shops that you enter into from like one of the villages, Kilika, Besaid, yeah, those are 2D backgrounds, except for the Crusaders Lodge. And the temples, right? Those are 3D. But yeah. Sorry, closing a window. Alright guys, we're gonna close the stream here. Good test stream.